Hello, Sparta fans. Welcome back to Bloomington, Minnesota. Bloomington Ice Gardens on Rink 3 for this third place bronze medal game. Sparta versus the Lady Flyers from Sioux Falls. Sparta in white. Sioux Falls in orange and blue. Both teams warming up, got about a minute and a half left. Two goalies on the other team, one goalie on ours. Sioux Falls going 1-1-1 this tournament. Sparta going 1-0-2 this tournament. Two ties on our side, one tie on the other side. Sioux Falls tied to Dinah Green, lost to Maple Grove, and had a thumping against Jessica Chan. So now this 3 p.m. game, starting a couple minutes early here for the smaller marbles, not the championship trophy, but we will be back in 1 minute with puck drop. Warm-ups have concluded. Now we are ready for puck drop. Sparta versus Sioux Falls starts now. Oberhammer, Bredimus, Bodsberg. Oberhammer drops that down to Getke. Getke sends that up. Outlet pass trying to hit Bodsberg. Bodsberg will chase that behind the net. Bredimus sends that back up the boards. Cross ice pass. Gets loose. Foot race there is going to be won by Bredimus. Bredimus takes it back to the boards, gets it back out to the point and out. Icing should be waved off. Not going to get enough there anyway. Sioux Falls Flyers pick that up, send that out to the point. Kept in there, dumped behind the net. Bredimus goes off for a change. Bodsberg digging it off the boards, has Abbott out front. That one goes all the way around. Getke stretches to get it at the point. Shot into the slot, gets deflected at the circles. Puck goes all the way down. Sioux Falls brings it around to the top circles, trying to center. Deflected there by Holman, who gets it back up to the point. Kept in there, shot on net, stopped there by Ebensteiner. Shot stopped there by Getke. Getke up the boards, out with Holman's help. Caught there at mid-ice and then back into the offensive zone. Ebensteiner, nice pass over to Holman. Holman gets it into the zone. Holman and Abbott pursuing that one back to mid-ice. Back down for Ebensteiner. Ebensteiner at the blue line, able to flip it up and out. Abbott to Holman. That one loose for Kelly. Kelly able to dump it deep into the offensive zone. And now back out. Abbott waiting for her team to clear. That one's stuck. Kelly gets it back in the other way. Kelly brings it in towards the net. Lost in some skates down for Holman. That one poked back to the side for Abbott. Abbott sends it deep to the red line. Kelly pursuing. Tried to get around. Abbott bumps into one. Kelly goes into the corner. Kelly back up to the blue line. Anderson able to keep it in. Abbott still going after it. Has a loss. Shot. Save. Blocker save into the corner. Back up the boards. That one goes a little bit too far for Anderson. Icing waved off. Anderson behind the net. Gets it to the boards. Trying to get there from McCullum. That one all the way to the other side. Flyers streak towards the center. Pad save Levine. Down, poked out. Back to the point for the Flyers. Shot through traffic. That one bounces and kept away. That one shot wide of the net. Back to the boards. To the point. Shot loose. Flight to the side. Levine trying to get a stick on it. Covers. Whistle. Line change here. Back to the original lineup. We have forwards. Overhammer pokes that back down for Bredemus. Bredemus behind the net. Overhammer. Puck protection up the boards. Can't get it out. Bredemus there to help out as well. Stuck at the blue line. Overhammer out with it. Back to the boards. Bredemus trying to push it forward. That one gets loose for Getke. Getke has it loose at mid-ice. Mid-ice tips it ahead to Bodsberg. Bothered there by Bodsberg. Flyers the other direction. Getke and Simons defending. Flyers streak towards the ice. Shot, save Levine. Gets stuck behind the net. Up to Bodsberg. That one poked back to the zone offside. Shots 3-1 in favor of the Lady Flyers. Sharp jerseys, Sioux Falls on front. Puck back down, they step in, bring it to the top of the slot. Shot hits the crossbar. That was a goal, you guys. Yep. It's all right. I didn't think it was, but they called it. Loose kick save Levine back towards the side, and that goes behind Kelly on the far boards. That one goes back out. Back in. Getke with a brief interruption. Back to the circle, save Levine. (2-0) Flyers. Push back down to the blue line, take it back in to the boards, up but not out. Reynolds able to get that back to mid-ice. Cross ice, defended, poke it away by Anderson. Anderson to the sideboards, able to get a stick on it. She's pushed into the boards. Back for McCabe. McCabe not able to get around one, shot towards the top of the circles. Anderson towards the board. McCabe up in the air, caught by the netminder. Second shot on goal. Puck down, back behind the net. Reynolds sends that across the crease. Kept in there by Anderson. Cullums pressuring that one up the boards. Ebensteiner able to keep that in. Now back out for the Flyers. Anderson makes a shot, go wide. McCabe sends that up to the point, kept in there by the Flyers. Back down deep for Anderson. 6:05 in the first period. Anderson trying to get it around one. Flyers get it back behind the net. Flyers slow it down. McCullum to Ebensteiner. Ebensteiner brings it to the center for McCabe. McCabe streaks out. Can't get a stick on it. Goes through. And Flyers back to neutral ice. Flyers, top of the circle, pull it to the center. Shot, save Levine. Anderson in the corner, bringing out to center ice. Run makes space for herself, gets over to McCabe. McCabe behind the net. That one sent all the way around the boards. Brenemus comes in the corner, fighting for it. Oberhammer. Simons sends it back deep. That one back up the boards. Simons trying to center. Out for Sioux Falls. Getke not able to handle it. Sioux Falls on a rush. Getke defending. They pull up short. Send in a net. Gets deflected into the corner. Sioux Falls centers. Out front. Shot missed. That one back up to the point. Kicked off the skate of Brenemus. Getke pulls that around to the other side. Bosberg trying to get there first. Bosberg, Brenemus pass, goes loose. Brenemus able to get a stick on that. Flyers get it back into the zone. Simons loses her handle. Getke skates to the corner and gets it back up the boards for Brenemus. Kept in at the point. Shot goes wide, deflected, covered Levine. Back down to the Flyers' point. Take a shot through traffic, stop there, Levine. Deflected to the sideboards. Back behind the net is Ebensteiner. Ebensteiner pushing it away. Pressured behind the net, goes the other way. Leaves it for Holman. Holman sends it up the boards, trying to hit Abbott. That one loose, just inside the blue line, sent back deep into the corner for Anderson. Anderson still working along the boards. Takes it deep into the zone. Tried to back out that one for Kelly. Kelly gets that, trying to send it up the boards. Shot into the slot. Ebensteiner keeps it on the outside. Gets it in deep, still poking at it. Got Abbott there off the boards. Back up to the point for Holman. Holman sends it back in, across the crease. Holman able to get it over to Kelly. Kelly shot towards the net. That one's still loose out front. Kelly not able to get a stick on that. Chase that to the boards. That one goes back out the neutral zone for Anderson. Anderson holds. Pulls it the other way and brings it in onside. Anderson trying to send it to Holman. That one poked back to the boards by the Flyers. Flyers going up the boards. Gets by Anderson. Has space ahead for herself. Takes a shot. Deflected away at the last moment. Holman goes over to the boards. That one loose. Kept in at the point. Deflected aside and back out into the neutral zone. Holman gets a stick on it, taps it back towards the blue line. Sioux Falls send it down, caught there by Anderson. Anderson takes the skate around, takes it back to the outside, trying to get it up to Holman. Flyers able to recover. Take it in the zone, 2-on-1 developing here. Ebensteiner shot goal off Levine's helmet. Back to center. Holman trying to pull it away. Shot goes wide behind the net. Levine paddles it deeper. Centering opportunity up front, goes all the way around. Caught behind the net. To the side. Levine pokes it up. Still stuck at the net and kept out. Back out on net. Anderson to the boards for McCabe. McCabe able to get it up. Penalty coming on Sioux Falls. Number 5, Sparta Cats, to go on power play. Cullum, Reynolds, McCabe, Simons, and Getke. Cullum at the draw, pushes that forwards. Penalty wasn't on the clock. We'll get that back again. Puck back down. Sioux Falls behind their net, pressured there by McCullum. They take it into the corner. Simons keeps that in, gets a shot off the back of Reynolds. Reynolds not able to center. Back to the point for Simons. She has it loose, able to keep it in to the slot. Over for McCabe, still loose. Flyers back to the point. Reynolds takes the shot. That goes behind the net. 48 seconds left in the period. Minute 5 in the penalty. Simons along the boards. Shot through traffic. Tried to get it to McCabe. Flyers able to get that back into neutral zone. Simons. Getke behind the net. 30 seconds. Eight seconds left. Flyers bringing it towards centering through the crease. 3 seconds left. 2-1, and that'll be the first period. We'll be back with the second. Puck down. Anderson gets that up into the defensive zone. Flyers send that back up mid-ice for Anderson. Anderson sends that back down behind the net. Evan Steiner gets there first. Evan Steiner pushed into the boards, and we'll see another penalty. Puck's down for Oberhammer, tried to pull that back for Bodsberg. Bodsberg will pressure behind the net. Through neutral ice, Bodsberg able to get a stick, gets it towards the crease. That one set back up to the point. Anderson sends it back up the boards. Bradimus able to backhand it into the zone. One gets around Bradimus. pulls it to the center. Still able to get around. Bredimus lifts the stick, sends it down. Ebensteiner behind the net, sends it up the boards. Oberhammer pulls it to the center, gets it out for Bredimus. Bredimus back to Oberhammer. Oberhammer able to get around, takes it to the boards. That one sent in wide for Anderson. Anderson to Bosberg. Bosberg taken down, no call. That one back in, offside. 28 seconds left in power play. Shots 14-2 in favor of Flyers. Puck back down. Simons not able to get control behind the net for Getke. Getke sends it up the board. She's going to pull it to the center for herself and make space. 13 seconds left. Maria has one more to beat, gets it around, sends a shot towards the slot for Abbott. Holman, shot on net, gets to the side. Glove down. Full strength back for the Flyers. Dump back deep. Kept in there by Abbott, sent down deep. Holman pressuring. Got Kelly there to back her up. Kelly not able to get it. Getke at the blue line. That one passed up for the Flyers. Shot deflected into the corner over for Abbott. Abbott trying to get up for Holman. Holman able to get bumped off. Abbott get it out into blue line, send it down. Icing is going to be the call. Save Levine. Anderson takes it to the boards, still loose. That one gets back out to neutral ice. Skated across. McCabe takes it back to the boards, into the zone and down deep. Cullen pressuring, gets it around. That one goes by the stick of Reynolds, kept in there. Sent across. McCabe still loose in the top of the slot. McCabe got a stick on that. Anderson shot towards the net, blocks in. Kick save across to Cullum. Flyers clear it into the neutral zone. Back down. That one goes across the net. Icing waved off. Centered across the crease. Ebensteiner. Ebensteiner to McCabe. McCabe along the sidewall. Gets into the zone. Cullen pushed off the puck. Flyers the other way. Numbers developing. Anderson able to get it away. Reynolds loses the handle. Able to poke it forward. Drag to the side. Levine. (3-0). Puck down for Oberhammer, leaves that for Getke. Getke sends it up the boards a little bit too far for Bredimus. Back into the neutral zone. Simons tried to slow that down, back for Getke. Getke up the boards, back out. Covered by the Flyers. They step up, send that back down, loose for Bodsberg, who sends it back to the boards. Oberhammer able to get it in. Bodsberg pressuring, not able to slow it down behind the net. That one sent, lands on the stick of Simons. Simons backhands that. Zone is clear. Oberhammer tries to keep it in. That one is back down to the Flyers. Back to Getke. Getke lost in her stick. Back to the boards. Pass stick of Oberhammer. Dive for Bredimus. Bredimus leaves it. Gets into the zone. Bodsberg skating after it. Sent around the boards for the Flyers. Bredimus trying to make space for herself. Pulls it deeper in the zone. Back for Oberhammer. Oberhammer shot across. Bodsberg still loose. Save. Falls. Holman at the draw. Puck's down, still loose. Holman poking at it, trying to reach her forehand. Kelly will go to the boards. Send it back behind the net. That one brought to the center. Flyers through the neutral zone. Getke gets a stick on it, kicks it out. Getke sends it on. Icing is the whistle. Flyers send that back to their point. Shot goes high, blocked there by Getke. Flyers send another one, blocked by Getke again. Getke picks it up, takes it to the center. Try to pass it over to Kelly. Getke brings it in onside. Sends that across for Abbott. Getke loses an edge. Flyers not able to get a shot on net. Centered out front. Pass stick of Abbott. Sent towards the net. Still loose in the crease. And that one's back down. Will be a penalty on the Spartacats. That one through traffic goes wide. Levine trying to poke that away. Back to the point. Flyers send a shot on net, deflected inside by Levine. That one goes across, stays in, brought out by Ebensteiner, sent all the way down, not far enough for icing. Cabe with a nice pressure. Kept in there briefly. Flyers able to get it back into neutral ice. Brought to the center. Pass, cross, shot high and wide. Going back to the point. Cabe not able to get it out. McCullum pressuring, and does. Flyers pick it back up. McCullum stops it from her feet, kicks it forward for herself. 4:39 left in the period, 23 seconds left in the penalty kill. That one back out, kicked off the sticks. Flyers bring that in onside, take a shot across off the skate of Reynolds. Levine got a paddle on that, still saved, shot. Penalty is over, 5-on-5. Anderson, good defensive pressure, takes it behind the net, reverses around the other way, reverses again, trying to get it cleared from the back of the net. Flyers send it back up towards their point, take a shot towards the net, gets deflected side, shot wide. Still loose, behind the line, send out front. Reynolds picks that up. Reynolds loses the handle. Flyers come the other direction onside. Take a shot low and deflected into the corner. Anderson pressures, pulls to the center. Reynolds gets it back up to the point. Shot hard, low, deflected into the corner by Levine. Evan Steiner to Bodsberg. 3:03 left in the first. Trip! Back out, caught in some skates. Sent to the top of the circles. Bodsberg trying to get it out, kept in by the Flyers. Anderson sends it around the boards. Past the stick of Oberhammer. Shot again, low, goes wide. Sent back down deep. Evan Steiner, dangerous move towards Bodsberg. Takes it up the boards. She's got numbers with Oberhammer. Oberhammer not able to bring it in offside, loses the handle. That one back around for Bredimus. Oberhammer recovers and re-enters the zone. Oberhammer shot, stopped there by Oberhammer, still loose, kept in there by Bodsberg. Bodsberg pulls it to the center, hits traffic. Oberhammer not able to keep it in there, goes back to neutral ice. 2 minutes left in the second period. Flyers bring that in, brought back around. Bodsberg up off the boards, Oberhammer pressuring. That one kept in. Bodsberg trying to send it over for Bredimus. Flyers bring it back to neutral ice. And now McCabe brought in onside. That one gets sent down deep into the zone. McCabe sends it to the boards. Oberhammer trying to pull it around. Has help there from Bodsberg. Back to the point. Sent down. Caught. Back to neutral ice. All the way down. Icing is the whistle. Back down for Holman. Back behind the net. Out front, still loose out, gets back to the blue line, kept in there. Shot through traffic, bounces into the corner. Cabe, just over a minute left, kept in there by the Flyers. Flyers to the top of the circles, take a shot towards the net, paddle save Levine. Levine blocks that post, has it out front, poked back to the side. Flyers at the point, able to center it. Poked away by McCabe. That one back out. Here comes McCabe and Holman. Holman has one to beat, brings it to the center. Shot gloves down, but still loose. Kelly pressuring, skates by one. 35 seconds left. Abbott, Holman, kept in by Kelly. Kelly brings it back down for McCabe. McCabe trying to get a shot off. 5 seconds left. Simons. And that's the second period. We'll be right back for third. Third period. Spartacats need 3 to get back on top here. Gecki at left wing, McCollums and Reynolds. Puck down, sent back to the blue line. Up to neutral ice, chipped ahead. McCollum has that puck loose, ran into a stick. McCollum brings that into the zone, got Gecki with her as well. Down for Reynolds. Reynolds, shot towards the back of the net. Gecki, wraparound shot. That one sent up the boards. Flyers able to get it through neutral ice. Off! Stuck at the blue line. Reynolds able to get it out. That one back down on net for Levine, who pokes it to Ebensteiner. Ebensteiner along the boards, trying to get it to Gecki. Flyers able to regain possession. Center at the top of the slot. Anderson gets it to the boards. Reynolds pressuring at center ice. Gecki able to get control. McCollum bounces off players. Flyers looking to send it in the zone and do. That one back down for Anderson. Anderson has that one deflected. Ebensteiner along the boards. Anderson back around behind the net, sends it up for Gecki. Gecki brings it forward, able to get it, pulls it to the center for herself, has one more. Gecki rushing at the net, shot, goal! Gecki! Spartacats on the board! 2 down. Oberhammer pulls that back to McCabe. McCabe sends that up past Bosberg. Icing waved off. Bosberg trying to get that behind the net. That one gets into a skate off another Flyer player. That one to the boards. McCabe to Oberhammer. That one gets loose. Oberhammer needs the pressure. Flyers take it the other way. Send it all the way down. That one's going to be an icing call. 9:46 left. Spartacats on the board, ruining the shutout, and 2 more to go. Oberhammer pushes that forward, goes for the puck herself, lifts the stick. She gets hauled down, no call. Bredimus in the corner, looks for a center, tried to get that to the point, intercepted there. McCabe defending with Simons. Someone leaves out front, no one covering. Shot on goal, save Levine. Out front again, still loose. Levine with another save. Out front, still loose. Out front and goal.
Clear the puck, girls, let's go!
Quick answer from the Flyers. Puck down, pass the stick to Holman. Abbott able to backhand that into the zone. Cross ice pass, loose for Kelly. Kelly loses the handle. Flyers bring that in, bring it to the center. Holman able to attack but not clear, still stuck on the boards. Abbott trying to dig it free. Loose for Kelly. Kelly brings it behind the net. That one up, kept in the middle of the Flyers. That's loose. Steiner trying to bring it back to the boards. Flyers send it behind the net. Anderson up the boards. Poke back up. Flyers bring that in. Onside, loose there. Holman sticks that away. Busting some skates, back in the zone. Oberhammer takes it into the center, making space for herself. Has one more to beat. Sends it on net, taken down, no call. Up the boards, kept in there by Kelly. Kelly shoots. Back up the boards, center ice for the Flyers. Flyers send that back behind the net. Steiner moving up the ice, has a lot of numbers ahead of her, keeps it to the outside. Push off the puck. Flyers pick it up and bring it behind their own net. 6:55 left in regulation. Back to the boards. Reynolds keeps it in momentarily. Simons up the boards and out, caught by McCullum. Getke trying to fly up, that one back in. McCabe along the boards trying to pick it up, not able to get it out. McCullum goes, tries to get around one, that one gets loose to Reynolds. Reynolds sends it over for Getke. Getke to the boards. Flyers able to bring it in on a break here. Shot hits the post. Back to the point. Kept in the out. And Getke brings it on the outside for herself. Pokes it up. Back behind the net. Reynolds with a block. Back down as well. Flyers get around McCabe. Shot coming and goal. Oberhammer. Steiner up to Oberhammer. Oberhammer keeps on the outside, taken in by Bosberg. Bosberg has a lane to the net. Shot goes wide of the net. Bredimus trying to keep possession. That one up the boards. Anderson shot through traffic. Back out to the point and through neutral zone. Anderson picks it up. No icing. Anderson behind the net, reverses around. Anderson gets it, trying to get it out. Oberhammer behind her own net, 5 minutes left to play. Oberhammer, round one. Oberhammer takes it through neutral zone, bumped off the puck. Up to Bosberg, not able to get it out, now she does. Back to neutral ice. Bredimus, brief stick on it. Anderson sends it to Oberhammer. Oberhammer has that pulled away from her. Flyers shot on net, deflected aside, behind the net. Anderson behind. Sends it to the boards. Loose out front. Steiner to Oberhammer. That one gets loose. Kept in. Bredimus got a stick on that. Bosberg takes it to the side. Shot through traffic. Skate save there by Anderson. Anderson. Caught there by Anderson. Anderson brings it to the center, caught there by Bredimus. Bredimus is off to the races. Bredimus, 2 to beat, brings it to the center. Bosberg still loose for Oberhammer. Oberhammer, shot through traffic. Shot loose. Puck down. Back behind the line for Flyers. Flyers pass that up. Through neutral zone. Shot. Save Levine. Outside through the crease. Up to the point. Kept in there. Back. And that one offside is the whistle. Holman brings that to center ice. Chips that in, onside. Holman with good pressure behind the net. Kelly, we got a stick on that. Kept in there by McCabe. Back out. Kelly with pressure behind. Kelly behind the net. Leaves that for Holman. Holman sends up towards McCabe. Flyers bring it back to the top of circles. Take a shot. Hits off one of their own skates. Kelly. Enters the zone onside, sent to the corner. Cross ice. Going to be sent all the way down. Not going to be far enough for icing. Flyers send it on net, hits the side, wrap around, goes in. .48 seconds left. This is going to be the game. Getke flying up the boards. Half a minute left. She has 1 to beat. Brings it to the center. Shot for Getke. Gets saved. Getke took a spill into the boards. Maybe got the wind knocked out of her. Getke back up with a hard rush to the boards. Appreciate the effort. And that's it. Spartacats end the tournament in 4th place. We'll be back next weekend for regular season district play. Thanks.